Hey guys, look, look, look. I got candy, man. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are checking out Candyman, the 1992 film. I think this is the original one. I'm pretty sure this is the original one. I know a new one just came out very recently. I will not be watching that one, but I wanted to watch the original one. I heard that the other one was pretty good, but I've heard that this movie is an amazing horror movie, so I'm very excited to check it out. Don't know how scary it's going to be. I've heard that the new movie is a very kind of artistic-y film. You know when I'm saying like an artsy film, you kind of know what I mean. So I'm wondering if this is going to have that same vibe. I don't even know what to expect from this movie. The poster is an eyeball with a man in it and a bumblebee on the eye. Maybe that will make sense at the end of the movie. Maybe it won't make sense at the end of the movie. I'm just very excited to check this one out. Ever since I saw the trailer for Jordan Peele's Candyman, I've been really excited to watch the original because the trailers for the new one looked really good in my opinion. So I was like, oh, well, it must be based off of a really good movie. And sure enough, sure enough, I'm pretty sure that this movie is supposed to be very good. And if it isn't, then I'm sorry that I'm just spouting random things. The only thing that I do know about Candyman is that you say his name 3 times. You say his name 3 times in front of a mirror, I think, and then he appears. Not really sure. Is he like some sort of demon? Is he a bumblebee in disguise that kills people who are allergic to bumblebees? Who knows? I also think it's very interesting that the trope or the cliche of saying someone's name 3 times in the 4 movies that I've watched so far for Halloween, 2 of them have had that cliche. So we're at a 50% rate at the moment. Half of the movies that I've watched, I know I've only watched 4, so it's a very small group, but it's still funny that half of the movies that I've watched, Beetlejuice and now Candyman, have had this trope in them. So I think that is kind of an interesting thing. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking about the movie because I don't know anything about this movie and I'm excited to get into it. But before we get into it, let me do the lighting. So let me turn on the light and then we can decide what color it should be. Did you get it? B, because bumblebee. There's a bumblebee on the poster. Boop. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, so the color today, I'm going red. And I know I didn't even have to think about that. I'm going red because the poster is giving me sort of a red vibe and the eyeball is red. The poster is like, again, an eye, like a very close up image of an eye. A bumblebee is on the eyeball. Candyman, I'm assuming Candyman. I'm pretty sure also Candyman has a hook for a hand. I think that's part of his design. I'm not too sure. I think he does have a hook for his hand though. Anyways, Candyman is sitting in this eye, but the eye itself is red. So I think red is a good enough design, or not good enough design, a good enough color choice for this reaction. Maybe I am wrong. Maybe there is absolutely no red in this movie. But judging by the poster, I think there will be some red in this movie. Okay, that is it. That is all I want to talk about. So let's just dive on into this thing. I hope you enjoy my reaction to Candyman. And you know what? It's a late Saturday night. Actually, it's not that late. It's only 7 o'clock, but it's dark outside and I am ready to be spooked. I am not actually that ready to be spooked. I get spooked very easily. This is not going to be fun if this is a scary movie. Yeah! Okay! Okay, the score is already going hard. Okay, Candyman. What the heck? Why is the music actually so good at the moment? Woo! Music by Philip Glass. Philip Glass, I've never heard of this guy before, but he is killing it. It's based on a book called The Forbidden. Interesting.
That I have shed innocent blood. What's blood for, if not for shedding?
I hate his voice. I hate his voice. There's like a
hook for a hand. I'll split you from your groin.
Ew. It's like a whispery sound in my headphones and it's really disturbing.
I came for you.
Please don't. Please do not come for me. Okay. Let's see what this movie has in store.
That she's gonna give Billy what she never gave to Michael.
Have you ever heard of Candyman?
No.
Oh my god, she's going to die so hard.
Say his name 5 times. He'll appear behind you, breathing
Oh,
down
it's
your
5
neck.
times, not 3 times.
Wanna
Interesting. I like how they changed up the formula. You have to say his name 2 more times.
She looked in the mirror, and I don't know why, but she said his name the last time.
Candyman.
It doesn't even have to be the same person. That scared me. That scared me.
And what he saw turned his hair white from shock.
Oh, that scared me. That scared me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I knew that was gonna happen too.
They live in the sewers now. Some of them are 30 feet long.
Is this an actual story?
In Miami. They went blind and albino from
Well, not Candyman, the alligator stuff. The alligator story.
They are the unself-conscious reflection of the fears of urban society.
Very true, very true. I wonder how much commentary this movie's gonna have on, I don't know, on stuff. I feel like since it, in my opinion, going into the movie, it feels like an artsy movie. I wonder if I have a lot of social commentary or not. We'll see.
Harold, Diane, Danny, Stacy.
Hi.
Hello?
I don't trust Stacy.
Everybody's scared of him once it get dark. He live over at Cabrini. My friend told me about him.
Cabrini Green.
He just has a house.
And they didn't believe her. They thought the lady was crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. So she called 911 again, and they still didn't believe her.
They still need to send someone to check it out. There she is. That's a nice apartment, lady.
Killer, or killers.
Can go behind the mirrors because there's the empty shaft.
There. Okay, now take a look.
That's so creepy. That is so creepy.
You don't believe all that nonsense anyway, do you? I don't. You?
Prove it then. Say his name 5 times. Do it.
All right.
Candyman.
Oh my god. Don't actually do it.
Oh, you chicken! You have to do it 5 times. Come on, go. I'm sorry, no. I better say I'm sorry.
Why didn't he come and kill them straight away? What's the deal here?
Oh, Trevor.
Oh. I wonder why she didn't die. I wonder if there's a reason.
Now, if Trevor and Archie were in on this, do you think they'd chicken out?
In a second.
Yeah, they would. Because Trevor's a wimp.
Y'all can come up
What are you looking for?
Just going up to see a friend of ours.
Sure you're not the police? Huh?
Look like 5-0 to me.
I don't like this. You guys can back off, please. It's too quiet, guys. It's too quiet. This is so creepy, and there's a mirror. And the mirror is still there. Ah.
Hurry up. Be careful.
This movie has gotten my stress levels to 50. Please don't close the mirror. If you close the mirror, I have a feeling you'll die. Whoa, that's kind of sick. That's so cool. Is she in his lair? It's Candy, man. Dude, is he Candyman just because he likes candy? I wonder why there was a razor in there, though. That is insanely creepy. Please do not look at that again.
Bernadette! Sorry.
Did you have to do that? Did you have to do that? Did you have to do that?
Hey, what y'all doing in there?
We're just leaving.
You here for the...
I hate this movie and its jump scares. I hate this movie and its jump scares.
All I got What's his name?
Anthony. I'm Anne-Marie.
Look how happy she was when she said Anthony. Aw, that's so cute.
I heard her right through the walls. I dialed 911. Nobody came. Nobody came.
That's insane to me. I cannot believe that. I am very unsure if Candyman is like some mythical demon thing that gets summoned or if he's a real person, you know? I'm very interested, but I feel like he has some form of mythical powers because he just appears when people say his name 5 times, except for when she said his name 5 times.
I think I've been there.
Actually, Purcell, we're about to bury you.
Oh, yes!
What?
What is up with this guy? You can go eat a butt.
See, he had a prodigious talent as an artist. And
Artist? Artistic film?
father executed a terrible revenge. He paid a pack of brutal hooligans to do the deed.
Bees. Bees.
But this was just the beginning of his ordeal. Nearby, there was an apiary. Dozens of hives.
Oh, this is where the bees fit in.
And smeared it over his prone, naked body.
Ew, ew, ew. The overlay of sounds.
And then scattered his ashes over Cabrini Green.
I feel like she has some connection with him. Of some sort. I feel like that the sound was not just for us as an audience. I feel like she, in some way, could hear that. That's how I'm interpreting this at the moment. And she had some sort of connection with the picture. This is a very interesting movie. Why does this movie keep doing this to me?
Unless you're too scared.
Jake's gonna take the bait. He's never too scared.
There's a big tough guy. He runs over to check it out.
Yes.
Out of there, shake it.
This guy's a god.
Full of blood, holding himself.
Oh. Ah. I wonder if they're gonna use the pictures to some sort of plot relevance because it's really cool and I love when horror movies can use flash and flash photography. Oh! What the heck? Wait, what? That was not there before. Was that there before? I did not notice that. Please don't look in the toilet. I know the arrow's telling you, but don't. Maybe the arrow should... Ah. Maybe the arrow was just saying, like, you know... I don't know. Who are you? Are you Candyman? Oh, interesting. That's not Candyman. It's a fake Candyman. What the heck? This guy just clubbed her to potential death. Interesting though how fast they arrested these people.
Good work.
Compared to not even for a second checking out this 911 distress call.
What about the little boy, Jake?
We don't need him. We have you.
It wasn't him though, for the most part. It was Candyman. He's just a fake Candyman. What if Candyman actually isn't real? That would be kind of interesting. That would be an interesting plot twist.
You haven't eaten already, have you?
Whoa, her eyes red. Her eyes red. Her eyes red, just like the poster.
You know what bugs me about the whole thing? 2 people get brutally murdered and the cops do nothing. Whereas a white woman goes in there and gets attacked and they lock the place down.
This is what I said. This is what I literally just said. I have a bad feeling that one of them is gonna die. Who are you? Is this actual Candyman?
Helen.
Oh my god, the voice is so good.
Helen, I came for you.
Ah. She must know. Yeah, she has some sort of connection.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
No need to leave yet.
Sounds like she's in a trance.
Be my victim.
He's very persuasive.
The writing on the wall, the whisper in the classroom.
Chills, man. Chills. Is it not her? Is it someone else? Oh my god. Oh my god, the dog? What just happened? That's... what? Is Anthony dead? Oh my god, you actually did that. You actually did that.
Police, open up! All right, hold it right there.
You did stab her, so you do deserve to go to jail. What happened? What the heck? What is happening in this movie? What the heck? He says innocent blood should be spilt. And then she wakes up in the bathroom covered in blood, not her blood. Dog's dead. Baby's dead.
Remove your underwear.
This movie really took a turn. I did not expect this.
Yes, but
you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand?
Yes. I'm so glad that they're actually arresting someone properly.
I don't know.
You're sick.
She actually doesn't know. Did she do this and just not realize it? Or did Candyman do it and then plop her into the bathroom to frame her? I like this movie. I don't know what's gonna happen, and that's why I like it quite a bit. If he's with Stacy, I will kill him. He's already dead to me. We're gonna see a little bumblebee. His calling card. Ah! So the baby's in that apartment.
I blacked out.
It was like she teleported.
I don't know what happened.
I'm really confused, but
I just woke up in that...
I think Candyman did it, and then he just like plopped her in there to frame her almost.
Trevor. Where were you last night?
At Stacy's house. Interesting that the same phrase was on the bathroom walls and the walls. Go back, go back. Yeah, and the house walls. Sorry, I totally just stopped talking. I'm kind of freaked out. Yeah, stop. I knew there was something weird about this picture. There he is. I knew it. I knew I saw something in that picture. Oh, I hate this movie so much. It's so good though. Why would you look at a mirror? Don't. I'm not going to be able to look at the mirrors for the next 10 years. Don't close it. Just leave it open. You know? That scared me so much. That scared me so much. I did not expect that. The camera work in this movie is also really good. Ah, there he is.
You believe in me.
His voice is so scary and deep, but it's also very enticing. Dude, your friend is bleeding out on the kitchen floor. Come with me and be immortal, though. That's an interesting line.
Helen.
Come with me and be immortal? Is she gonna become a candy man? A candy woman?
Helen. Helen.
No, Bernadette, you're so dead. Helen is not worth this. Ella, Bernadette did not deserve this at all. Oh, Trevor, you deserve to die. Oh my god, and he puts a knife in her hands. The framing job. Ah, the flashes.
Not to have to be. Do you understand?
Dude, his voice gives me chills. It's so good. I have chills right now, guys. The music, Candyman's voice, the epicness, the flashes. Oh my gosh, it's so good. You know what? It's not good though, Trevor. Trevor doesn't deserve to be in this movie. What if you have to itch? What if you have an itch and you're in that? That's torture. I was really hoping he'd come.
No, except what the bad teach them by their excesses.
That's cool.
He's here! He's under the bed!
What if he doesn't even exist? What if he doesn't even exist? What if Candyman is just a figment of her imagination? What if she actually has done all of this?
I'd like to speak to my husband.
I'm sure we can arrange a visit.
Visit. Have I been committed?
You're staying in here for a while. I'm so curious. Did she actually do it though? I think Candyman's real. I think he's real, but it could turn out that he's not. But then how is Anthony alive after a month, you know? So Candyman must be real.
I don't understand.
Interesting, and the plot thickens. If she did kill them, it doesn't make sense to me how their faces just became white and pale, unless it's just because of a loss of blood. The music, man, it's rampant. And now it's fading. Oh. Oh my god, he's framing her again. Oh my god, it's gonna make it look like you did it again. Why would you just stay there? Oh, she's so smooth. I'm so stressed. The music, the camera work, it's so good.
What's the matter, sweetie pie? Did you make another little...
Oh my god, that's Stacy?
What's the matter, Trevor? Scared of something?
I love her. The sound of the phone is very suspenseful. I feel like someone's about to die. I love how she just was like, it's over, as if they weren't already broken up, you know? Is Anthony gonna be there? If Anthony is in there, then Candyman is real. If Anthony is not in there, then Candyman is not real. I don't like this shot. I don't like this shot. What if she's related to someone that he knew in his life? Like the lover, or like the person who executed him or something. He's just lying on a slab of stone. Is that his bed? Does he not have pillows?
Helen.
Oh.
And he shall be unharmed.
Whoa, cool shot. Whoa, this is actually so cool. It's like a... The music makes it sound romantic in a way. The bees. Ew. Oh, what the heck? That's very gross. I do not like this part of the movie. Okay, Helen, what just happened? It was Helen. It was all Helen. Okay, I think he's real. That bee solidifies that he's real. It was always you, Helen. Oh my god. So Helen was... Wait, what? Ah, she's related. She's related. She is related. Go into the apartment. Oh my god, wait, no. On the fire? On the fire? No! Why would you do this? I know you don't know any better, but Anthony's in there. Can't you hear the crying? Helen, you got it.
I knew you'd come.
Helen, you gotta get out of there.
You and I, our bones will soon be ashes, and we shall never be separated again.
His bones? You're trying to kill Anthony? Save the baby. Yes! Yes, you deserve it, Candyman. Oh my god, Helen, get up, man. Helen, you're burning. Helen, you are on fire, and not in a good way. Oh my god, she looks like Anakin after the fight on Mustafar. Is he dying? Are those bees? Or just sparks? They sound like bees. Is he dead? I'm very confused. I hope you understand that. She is dead.
Trevor?
Oh my gosh, are they all gonna say their prayers? Ah, the hook! They definitely think she did it. If she wakes up, I'll be so upset.
What is it?
Trevor, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
No, you're not, Trevor. Say Candyman in front of the mirror 5 times, I dare you. What's gonna happen? There has to be just some final, like, whoa. Dude, she was actually so nice to him, and he just betrayed her in every way. If you say it, will she appear? Imagine. Oh my god, say your name 5 times.
What's the matter, Trevor? Scared of something?
Oh, now she's Candyman. And she's gonna get framed for it. That's it? That's over? What's this artwork on the back? Is it of her? I am going to be honest, that movie was amazing, but I don't know how good my review of it is going to be. I feel like I'm going to miss a lot of stuff. And that is my reaction to Candyman, the 1992 horror slasher movie starring Tony Todd. Ooh, he was good as Candyman. Virginia Madsen, yeah, Bernard Rose, Vanessa Estelle, I'm assuming Williams, and Xander Berkley. Berkley. I'm sorry if I said anyone's names wrong, but yeah, that movie was really good and sort of terrifying, very suspenseful, but very, very enjoyable. I had so much fun with that movie, especially with Tony Todd's voice. Oh my gosh, that man's voice. I don't know what it was, but it was so deep and so rich, and my headphones were like, with headphones on, it sounded like he was standing right next to me. Like normal film dialogue, sure, sounds good, but for some reason, his voice was the most crisp voice, the deepest and most crisp voice I have ever heard in my entire life. So props to Tony Todd for that amazing, very just, I don't know, interesting, emotional, scary, creepy, whispering, haunting voice. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just super good. But anyways, before we really get into this review, let me just talk about the reviews really quickly, because I like to talk about film reviews before I get into the actual film itself. On IMDb, this movie has a 6.7, and on Rotten Tomatoes, this movie has a 77%. So it seems like critics enjoyed this movie more than audiences, but overall, it seemed to get pretty average reviews. And I can kind of see why it got pretty average reviews. If you go into this movie thinking it is a slasher film, I would feel like you would get a little disappointed. I didn't really feel like this was a slasher movie, and it's labeled as a slasher movie, at least on Google. The genre is horror slasher. But for me, I wouldn't label this movie as necessarily a slasher movie. It is not, when I think of a slasher movie, such as like Friday the 13th or, I don't know, Scream or something like that, I wouldn't put this movie in the same category. Like, yes, there are deaths, and yes, Candyman is this slasher-esque villain, but at the same time, he's not really. So I can see why you would be disappointed by this. The first half of the movie is very much dialogue. There's nothing really happening. There's a death at the start, and then it's all of these like false jump scares until Candyman appears. And then once Candyman appears, death does happen, but it does take a while to get to that. And then this movie is also very confusing. There's a lot of shots and parts of the movie where you're like, what the heck is happening? And I'm trying to piece together it as I'm speaking for this review, so hopefully I get it right. But I can see why people wouldn't like this movie, but I loved this movie. This movie was just so good. It was very different to horror movies that I've seen before, and that's something that I've noticed as well. With the movies that I've watched so far on this channel, they've all been very unique and very fun. Even Chucky, which was just like, Child's Play, sorry, I called it Chucky, but Child's Play, which is just a very fun, goofy movie about a doll that can kill people, still is like very creative in how it does it. And the Nightmare on Elm Street is the same thing, and Beetlejuice is the same thing, and now this movie as well. It's none of the movies felt generic, which is a lot of times what horror movies feel like nowadays, is they just feel like generic. Studios can make them because they're cheap, and they'll make a lot of money in the theaters because people want a movie that will scare them, and then the movie is always cheap jump scares, and that is it. Very surface level stuff. But all of the movies I've watched on this channel, especially this one probably tops them all, is just so well versed in depth, in people caring about the movie, in characters. The scares are all there for a purpose, not just to scare the audience, but they're also there to serve a purpose to the plot. The villains in the movie, the demons, the creatures, whatever they are, Candyman for instance in this one, are super memorable, super bone-chilling, and it's just something that I've noticed where all of these old horror movies so far that I've been watching are not just throwaway films. Maybe the second ones are, the third ones are, but the first ones, at least in all of the trilogy, in all of the series, are really good, really entertaining, and kind of push the boundary of where do you think we can take this genre? Oh, dream sequences? Oh, Candyman? And then like Beetlejuice is like the genre, but insane and funny and like an SNL skit, and then Child's Play is like, what if a doll did it, but we filmed it really well, So that's what I found interesting about watching these four movies, and they're all super different, they're all super unique, but you could sort of say, maybe besides Beetlejuice, that they're all part of the same genre, but they're all very different movies, which is really, really cool to see. And again, it's not something you really see before. Anyways, getting into the music of this film. The music of this film was outstanding. I think his name was like Philip something or other. I totally forget. I'm very sorry, but it was so good. I kind of want to be able to play it on the piano because it was a very heavy piano score, But something that was also interesting about the music was the vocals. There was like a choir. There was lots of choir aspects in the score. There was lots of choir pieces, and a lot of it was accompanied by a piano. And I thought that was very interesting because whenever I think of a choir, I think of like angelic. I think of, like Christianity. I think of God. I think of like that sort of thing whenever I hear a choir, like kids lined up on these bleachers wearing white with the Bibles or Bible songs or something like that and singing. That's what I think of when I hear a choir in a movie. And I know that is definitely not the case for everything. Like Star Wars uses a lot of choir and vocals and stuff like that, but it's just for awesome music, really. But in this movie, I feel like maybe it does mean a little bit more. Don't know, but everything in a score is done on purpose, whether it's just to be more awesome or to kind of tell a story through the music. And I thought the choir in this really added a sense of suspense and dread, but also it just made the music really fun. And then the piano as well was very haunting. The very simple melody that would just repeat over and over and then have little variations here and there. I thought it was really effective to kind of build the suspense. Something else that this movie did really well were the effects. The practical effects in this movie, the gore effects, the blood effects, everything about that, like all of the makeup and stuff was so brilliant and so disgusting. It was so gross. Like when her head was like all burnt, when Helen's head was all burnt, she comes out of the fire and it's just like this gross bleeding but like charred and scarred face. Like, oh, that was really disturbing. But then all the deaths as well, whenever Candyman killed someone, like they did not shy away from this 18+ rating. And I feel like they probably filmed more and then maybe had it cut because it could have been too violent or something like that. I know that there is an extended version of this movie. I'm pretty sure there is an extended version of this movie, and I don't think I watched it. I think it's like a director's cut or something. I feel like I watched the theatrical cut. But yeah, let me know if things got cut from this movie, because there were some imagery in this movie or some scenes in this movie as a whole where I was like, wow, that is very gruesome, and I cannot believe that they are actually showing this, like there was some gross stuff in this, and I for one enjoyed it. I was not expecting it, and they really used their 18A rating to the absolute max, in my opinion. Getting into some of the subtext in this story, I thought it was a very interesting premise to go off of, and there was a lot of talk and imagery surrounding like white privilege and then slavery and stuff like that. Obviously Candyman's backstory was that he was a slave, or his parents were a slave, I think, or something like that, and then he fell in love with this white girl, this rich white girl or something like that, and then her dad kills him or hires these people to kill him because of that and because of his skin color and stuff like that. And they've really heavily, at least at the very start of the movie, touched on white privilege. I noticed it, and then Helen said it, so I was 2 steps ahead of Helen on this one, so I feel a little bit genius. But when the police find Helen, it's very interesting that they juxtaposed that. They contrasted that earlier in the film with that girl, the black girl who was calling 911, and then no one came, and she called multiple times. So I like that they gave that story first, and then Helen got in trouble and got picked up straight away. That was a very good thing, and then obviously they said it out loud in the movie, but you can interpret kind of what is happening in this movie and what this movie started going for by that at the very start of the movie. And then again, because Candyman's origin story was a slave-driven origin story, and then obviously white people having the privilege of killing him without any repercussions and stuff like that. It was a very interesting subtext to put over the movie, and it's one that I'd like to think about, one that I'd like to watch this movie again and really kind of understand. But I thought it was a very good message, and I thought that they made the message work in this movie very well, because it's one that I think that I understood what they were going for. I think that is what they were going for. They were kind of, this movie was definitely in some way a commentary on that aspect of like the society, I guess, of not the society, but of real life society and white privilege and stuff like that. So it was very interesting to see that in a slasher movie, but I thought that they did work it into the movie very, very well. There are some things that I'm not sure if they are meant to be like an imagery and a metaphor, or if they were just there to be cool, like the bees, for example, for Candyman. I'm not sure if the bees for Candyman are supposed to be a metaphor for something, or if they're just there because he died with bees and then now he just has bees, because I feel like you could turn the bees into a metaphor. Like if you're really stretching, you could be like, bees fly to different flowers and they pollinate different flowers and they create life, which is like how Candyman stays alive through this pollination of his stories throughout society, throughout the urban environment and stuff like that. You know, I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch, but you could argue that that's the case for the bees. I don't know, maybe there is a deeper meaning for the bees, but maybe it's just an aesthetic choice as well. Maybe it just looks cool, and it was very cool. I thought Candyman as a whole was very scary, but I'll talk about that when I get to Todd. One more thing I'd like to talk about before we get into the cast was the camera work. The camera work in this movie was really good. As a whole, I mean, the camera work and the set design and everything, like whenever they went into those, like the ghettos, I guess that's what they were calling it in this movie, and they went into that building, like it was very creepy, it was very eerie, and it was like just looked really good. And I thought that the set design did a really good job for both Helen's apartment and then like the main place where Candyman was and stuff. I thought they did a really good job with that. But the camera work in this movie was also really good. It was very simple but very effective. There were a lot of very long takes in this movie, very subtle long takes in this movie, where the camera would slowly be panning to reveal something. And that is something that I really appreciated about this movie, is that this movie took time. Like there weren't any very rushed things about this movie. The movie wasn't afraid to slow down and let you just get immersed into the scene with this slow pan to the left as Helen slowly walks forward, and then you slowly reveal Candyman lying on the bench. This is just one example that's just on the top of my mind, but stuff like that I really appreciated with the camera work. There were also a lot of other instances, like when Helen was running away from Candyman in her apartment after he had stuck his hand through the wall. There was like a very subtle long take in that where the camera's just following her around the house as she's panicking. She goes out, Candyman's there, she comes back in. You know, it was very good camera work and very subtle, and I thought it was very, very effective for the movie as a whole, as a way to tell the story and as a way to create tension and scare you. Scares is actually one more thing I'd like to talk about before I get into the cast as well. I thought that the first half of this movie was really scary because there were a lot of jump scares, but then when Candyman appeared, it wasn't scary anymore per se. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to have a heart attack and die because I'm in a perpetual suspense of when is there going to be a next jump scare. There weren't any jump scares after the halfway point of the movie, at least besides when Candyman sticks his hand through the wall. There weren't really any major jump scares, which I think is really interesting when you compare it to the first half, which was like all jump scares every 5-8 minutes, something like that. So interesting that they didn't do that, but I think the jump scares was to kind of set up Candyman, and then Candyman appears for the first time in the movie with this very ominous presence. He's like, I am the writing on the walls, I am the whispers in classrooms, which was super cool. And I don't know, I think it really added to the effect. Yeah, but once Candyman appeared, it wasn't the scariest movie in the world. It was just a really entertaining movie, and Candyman was a very disturbing presence, but it became more of a mystery to me, and whether Helen was dreaming up Candyman or if Candyman was real himself. And I think that is really interesting, and I really liked the take that they went, and then Helen becoming folklore at the end, Helen becoming a version of Candyman. I thought it was a really clever way to wrap up this movie. Okay, getting into the cast now. I'm probably, I'm only really going to talk about Xander, Berkley, Vanessa, Estelle Williams. Let me just make sure that her last name is Williams. Yeah, okay. Williams, and then Virginia Madsen and Tony Todd. The lady who played Bernadette, Casey, I think her name is, Casey Lemmons. I think she did a really good job. I really like Bernadette. She wasn't in the movie too much. Her death was really cool though. I don't know. Helen is definitely not worth saving. So she died for nothing really, but I don't know. I really liked her though. But Xander Berkley as Trevor, I hated this man. I'm glad he died at the end, although his death definitely, I mean, it's always sad to see a character die, right? But he did quite a lot of bad things. Helen should have left him for Tony Todd's Candyman immediately. Like, I would have taken that offer up. He was such a bad person. She seemed so nice to him too. Like, she really cared about him, like deeply, deeply cared about him. And he just kind of tossed her to the side for Stacy. So I don't really know what he was thinking. So I'm glad that he died. I'm glad that he was feeling all sad that she had died, that Helen had died, and I'm glad that Helen got to exact revenge. But I thought Xander Berkley did a really good job as Trevor. Vanessa Estelle Williams, as Anne. I think her name was Anne Marie. She was really fun in this movie. Again, did not have a lot of screen time. This movie was very heavily basically only Helen, with side characters coming in for different scenes that she would share with, but mostly just Helen, and all the other side characters were there. But again, it was mostly just Helen. But Anne-Marie did a really good job. Vanessa Estelle Williams did a really good job as this character. When she was screaming, her dog's head had been cut off, her baby was missing. That was really believable and really good. I thought her acting in general was just like top notch. I thought it was top notch. Virginia Madsen as Helen. She was so good in this movie. What the heck? She was so good. I've never heard of this actress before. Maybe I've seen her in something, but she was phenomenal in this movie. The way that she was trying to figure it out in her head, like what has happened, like am I dreaming all of this up? Is all of this real? And she was making me second guess if everything was real, if everything was fake. And I really liked that about this movie, how the second half of this movie, I was just trying to decide what was real, what wasn't. Is Candyman even a real thing, or is it just a figment of her imagination, this urban folklore legend that's just getting to her, and then she's kind of developing this almost like a mental illness through this folklore. I thought it was a very interesting take on the movie, and I'm kind of glad that he was real and that she became a Candyman, because I think that just makes it more interesting. I don't know. I just think I'm just really glad that he was real, because as much as I would have found that the twist that she did it all the time, that she was just Candyman the entire time, that would have been a cool twist. I'm so glad that Tony Todd is alive. I'm so glad that he's real. But this isn't about Tony Todd. This is about Virginia Madsen. She was excellent in this movie. She was very emotional, and when she killed Trevor at the end, I was like, yes, it was good. It was good. I thought Virginia Madsen did a great job. And Tony Todd, this man, I don't know if I've ever seen this name before. I don't know if I've ever seen him before. I could have, but his voice, man, his voice made Candyman for me. Like, yes, the way he stood was menacing, and yes, his outfit was menacing, and his chest with bees and stuff was menacing, and his hook was menacing, but nothing compared to his voice, his booming voice that like reverberated through my head. And it was, I think it's the deepest noise that my headphones has ever witnessed or like used in their entire lives. I don't even know have words. It was just, his voice was chilling and haunting, but like smooth like butter, and then you could hear like the in his voice, and it just made it more creepy for some reason. I thought he was excellent as Candyman. I'm glad that he was real. Maybe he's not real and I just misinterpreted the movie, but I'm interpreting the movie as he was a real figure. He was this folklore thing that came to life through folklore, through this urban legend. In a way, he came to life. Maybe he was already alive, but he's really become prominent because his word has been spread. And in some way, Virginia Madsen as Helen was connected to his past life. In my opinion, I feel like she was related or something. That's why he didn't kill her immediately. That's why he made her immortal. And now they are both this urban legend together. And now you say Helen 5 times in front of a mirror, and she will come as well. So I think that is an interesting concept. I think that's an interesting way to make the movie go. And I just thought Tony Todd did a great job as Candyman. And that is it for my review of Candyman, the 1992 movie. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much to these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people right here for supporting me and supporting my channel. It really does mean a lot. Yeah, I will not be watching the new Candyman on the channel. I may watch it by myself. And if I don't watch it by next Halloween, then I will definitely watch it next Halloween. But this Halloween, I have too many good movies on my plate to watch, and there's only 2 more weeks left of Halloween movies. So I really just got to get them through. I got to get them through. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time for my next movie reaction.